Hey everyone, Melissa here and welcome back to my channel. So I have another process video with a layout for the Hip Kit Club design team today, and it is Sunday and it is a mood board inspired layout, and my extra assignment is to do a Valentine's Day layout that is monochromatic pink with black and white accents, and I can use mixed media and also a cut file if I choose. So I have this photo of my husband and I. It's not a Valentine's Day photo, but it is a photo of us, and I'll explain more about the photo in the voiceover part of this video. But I've made it black and white because the colours in this were never going to work with this beautiful kit. And now, it was a bit challenging, this one, because there is pink in the kit, but not a huge amount. Like, I've had to pull in some cardstock. In terms of embellishments, there are definitely pink embellishments, but as far as paper goes, I had to be a bit creative. So there's this one, which, I don't know, it's got other colours in it too, so I'm not sure if I'll use it, but I've pulled it anyway. And then we have the rainbow paper, Dare to Dream, has got that beautiful pattern on the back. And then this one also is not just pink, but I think we can pull it in because it's got sort of the lighter pink and three kind of shades of pink. There's orange and a blue, but I still think that will work. And then for cardstock, this piece is called Coral Cream, and this piece, I've by mistake pulled out two, is called Tutu Pink. So that's going to work. And then for black and white, we've got this piece, and there's also a border on it that is pink as well. So I definitely have an idea of how I'm going to use these. I've got a white cardstock background that I have pre-gessoed, so that's always a good idea for mixed media. And then I have pulled some magicals that we've gotten in past hip kits. There's Ramblin' Rose Pink, Cuckoo Clock Cardinal, that's a shaker, a magical shaker. I'm not sure. I have to see. I haven't used this that much. I think it was from November 2018 or 19 Christmas kit. And then this one is my favourite one. It's Papa Pink, and I know that's definitely going to work, and it's got shades of gold in there as well. I've also got some Nuvo Glimmer paste from November 2020, I think, kit. Other items I have pulled, there's that piece of paper as well that is pink. I've got one of the fringe strips or border strips that is pink, black and white pocket life cards. There's purple in there too, but we could still use that. I'm not sure. This is navy, but it's quite dark, so I'm going to call it black and probably put my journaling on there. And then other things I have, Big Blooms cut file of a beautiful flower. I'm definitely going to use that. And then other embellishments that I know I will probably use, I'm definitely using these. In fact, my layout is going to be based on these. I know they're not pink and they're not black, but they're embroidery hoops, and to me that's the kind of look of an embroidery hoop, so I'm not going to make it black or pink, and it's going to work. It's a neutral. I'm going to take it as a neutral. There's a few other things in here I might use that are pink. May use some of these, not sure yet. Pink buttons, definitely, and maybe some hearts. Die cut pack, not sure yet, maybe use some of them. It's not black, but that Let's Party, I think, is darker. We'll call that black. That's going to work for sure. Leaf. Just looking for pink and black things, probably that camera. And then on here, it's kind of pink phrases there, maybe some of them. I think this was a Saturday night, so I can definitely use this Saturday. What else? Don't know if I'm going to use these. I've just pulled them in. Probably not, actually. Might save them for something else. More chipboard pieces. Fave. Definitely. There's a lot of purple in that, so I'm not going to use that. And then I'm really, really excited because I have had this idea as soon as I saw this kit with those embroidery frames about actually doing some cross stitch, because cross stitch was my first craft that I ever did, and actually putting cross stitch on Ada, that's the proper cloth that you use, putting it, can't see because of that mandala, but yeah, putting it in the actual frame And that's not my design. It's from this book that I've had for years. It's called Sweet Treats in Cross Stitch by Le Joly Senoville. Tinou Le Joly Senoville. I've probably completely said that wrong, but just want to make it clear that this is not my design. It is hers, and I'm going to give full credit to use it. So I've stitched that heart, and I've stitched it in a bright pink that I think will work really well with the kit. So that is my plan. I'm really, really excited about this one. I've had it in my mind for a while, and I think it's going to work really well. Oh, also forgot to say that we've got the Moodboard by Vicky Parker, and I am really inspired by the image that has the hearts kind of hanging down. So that's what I'm thinking. I'm not going to have hearts hanging down though. I'm going to have these embroidery frames. So let's get into it. Right, so the first thing I did was prepared a piece of cardstock with gesso. I used clear gesso and I put it on quite thinly and let it just dry. It's summer here, so it dried quite quickly. And then I'm just doing the packaging technique with some of those Lindy Gang Magicals. This one, I think it's a pinky toned one. Let me see if I can get it. Okay, it's called Ramblin' Rose Pink, and that's really pretty. And when I did this, I thought to myself, I've probably put it on in too concentrated a form here, but I've put too much of the powder down, but it's fine. A good friend of mine said that things often look like a hot mess when you do mixed media. And I know Missy Wooden has said that as well when she's creating. So you think it's going to look, I think it looks terrible. Or my friend actually said it looks ugly before it looks pretty. So, and then I've used the Ompapa pink, which has got tones of gold in it, and it's really, really pretty. And then I thought I wanted to bring back some of the white in quite a subtle way, so I'm just using some white mist, drying that off, and as you'll see as I dry it that you can't really see it very well at all, but I know it's there and it is very subtle, and I'm not wanting it to take over. I could have used white acrylic paint if I wanted a more opaque white. And then I've just got some black mist or black ink from my stash, and I'm using a paintbrush and quite liberally just dropping it on there in big splatters. Now, this didn't dry very well, so I'm just using a paper towel to dab up some of the excess, and then I think I put my heat gun on it for a little bit, and then I left it. I may have even left it overnight, but I did smudge it a bit and it got all over my hands at one point, so that was a bit concerning. Because I feel with this layout, I've only got one shot at this one really, because I've put all that effort into that cross stitch, which would have taken me a couple of hours, and I just watched some YouTube while I was making it. And I've only got 3 of these embroidery hoop frames, and once they're gone, they're gone. So I decided to use all 3 because 3 is a great number for designing, and I just think they look really super cute together because they are different sizes. So here I've just put the biggest one on some white cardstock and just trimming it out, and you saw how I trimmed out my photo. With the Ada, with the embroidery, I cut it down and then I glued that onto the to the hoop. Even though it's got adhesive, it's a sticker, I added extra liquid adhesive also to act as a sort of like a sealant for that embroidery, and then I put it onto white cardstock so that there was no way that the back of the embroidery was ever going to come undone. Now, I was not happy with this cut file with the pink, as you can see there. This cut file is called, I think it's called Big Bloom, and it is one of the January 2021 cut files designed by Kim Watson. It's stunning. It would look amazing cut big as well, so I'll probably do that. That's when I'm done with this kit for my design team projects, I'll probably cut this one again large and create a layout with it. So I'm just using some more of that Ramblin' Rose Pink and my paintbrush and some water, obviously, to activate the magical. And I'm just painting it on. And I'm so happy with how this turns out. When I did backless cut file and when I pulled that pink, I was concerned about whether this was going to look good. But I didn't want to use pattern paper in this flower because I wanted it just to be plain and quite simple. So I've dried it off, and now I'm going to use some of the Nuvo Glimmer paste, and it's clear with a beautiful silver sparkle, and I'm just using my finger to apply that. It's hard to see on this video because of my lights, but I think when you see it at the end, in the shots at the end, hopefully you can see the glimmer. It's not going to be as good as you see it in real life, but it's definitely there, and I just love the effect that it adds. So that, you can see it there actually to the left there. You can see how shimmery that is on the pale pink of that rose, or yeah, peony. I think it's a rose. So now I've got one of these amazing Genius cardstock fringe pieces, and I love that they have beautiful kind of watercolored saturated paint details on them. I don't have fringe scissors, and you've probably watched me cut my fringe by hand, so this is a dream. It's just amazing. So I'm wanting to put this at the top of my layout, and I can't even remember if I told you, but the this is inspired by the Moodboard, and the image that I'm inspired by to create this layout is the picture of the hearts all hanging down. And so I decided to not use hearts because my last couple of layouts for HipKit have been with hearts. So my last layout in my process video, which you hopefully would have seen here, I created hearts, and it was also inspired by the Moodboard. So for this one, I wanted to change the hearts to those embroidery hoops, but I still wanted to have, I thought about tying them and hanging them, but in the end, I just like the way they look just like this. So I've still got that pattern paper piece and the fringe piece at the top. I was going to say to ground my layout, but it's at the top of the layout, but it does essentially the same thing as if it were at the bottom, or even if I had two border strips. And I think it provides some nice interest and helps pull in the monochromatic look, and it plays off the pink tones in this layout. So now I am wanting to place these three hoops overlapping each other, and I'm putting the photo of, or the hoop with the photo in the middle, because that really is the main focus of this layout. But I also really want to feature my stitching because it's just so cute, and I put a lot into it. So just using craft foam and some dimensional adhesive just to pop everything up, just using my stapler just to hold it down, because I didn't put any craft tape, I was going to say double-sided tape. I would normally put double-sided tape onto craft foam to help hold it down while the glue dries. So I was a bit concerned at first because I've gone for the biggest frame with just white cardstock. I'm not adding any mixed media or anything to that. I want the mixed media to be in the background and to be kind of subtle. But I love how it looks with this big bloom embellishing the bottom of that hoop. And then I've gone through the die cut flowers and I've tried to find pink ones, and I'm limiting myself to pink only because that is the challenge. And I think it makes it interesting when you stick in 100% to a challenge. Yeah. So I've got a puffy camera there. I think I tried to use it in my last layout, but it didn't make it on. It's just really cute. I did struggle a little bit in getting going with this embellishing because I didn't want to overdo it. I did not want to take away from those hoops, but at the same time they look bare without anything. And I also needed to provide some balance on the right side of this layout because of that bloom being so big on the bottom of that hoop. So sometimes I will cut my flowers in half, and that enables me to use both pieces in two different places. A bit about the photo actually, because I haven't really talked about that, but in the meantime you'll just watch me play with black and white accents and also pink embellishments. But this photo was it was taken at my brother-in-law's final farewell dinner. He was diagnosed with cancer, terminal cancer, about almost a year before this photo was taken, and so he was an advocate for cancer care, and he did amazing things in New Zealand in his battle with cancer. He knew he wasn't going to survive, and he did like a huge amount of things. And if you want to know more, you can look back through my channel, and I think I've got a video where I talk about it. But he had this final farewell, and it was really sad, lots of tears, but also such a fun night. He had a few charity events as well that we went to, and it's like having cancer defined him in a way, and it made him into who he became. Very well known in this country. He was, because he had passed, he couldn't get New Zealander of the Year in 2020, was it 2020? 2019. He couldn't get it because you had to be alive to collect it, but he would have got it if he was here. And so, yeah, he's a very inspirational person, and he passed when he was 39. But this is just a photo of Sean and I at the dinner, and it was just a lovely night, and yeah, it was really sad as well. But that's the photo, and this will go into the album that I'm making to document his journey through our eyes as his family. But yeah, so my final step is just to add some Nouveau Drops, and these came from, I think, the November 2020 Hip Kit. And here are some close-ups of my layout. I hope you enjoyed this process. Yeah, I'll be back again next week at some stage for another layout for Hip Kit Club. Take care.